So Phil Spencer's had another interview, and in that interview he talked about his perspective on the console wars, and he talked about whether or not Xbox is going to have a next-gen system. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. But before we get on to the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content. Don't forget to follow me at Twitter at LordAddictIOP. Without any further ado, let's talk about these comments from Phil Spencer. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you for another video. Today we're going to be talking about Phil Spencer. I know we talk about Phil Spencer on this channel a lot. He is the head of Xbox, and this is mainly an Xbox-centric channel, so we would be talking about this man a lot, but particularly around interviews. He was in another interview with The Verge today, and this man has been on multiple interviews for the past couple months. He has gave his opinion on a countless set of topics, and today I want to focus on two topics that he talked about in this Verge interview. There is a voice version of it that you can definitely go listen to. I'll put it in the comment section below. It's about an hour long now. I did listen to the entire thing during today's lunch break when I was at work, and I thought there was a lot of interesting stuff that went on in this, and I thought the entire interview itself was done extremely well. Now, the first thing I want to really dissect in terms of what was spoken on this interview is Phil Spencer's perspective on the console war. For those of you that's under a rock and don't know what the console war is, it's this invisible battlefield that's going on Twitter, that's going in comment sections on YouTube, and it feels like a bunch of people have sided with one side, sided with another, and even people siding with Nintendo on whether or not their console is better than the other console. And Phil Spencer seems to really can't stand this. Now, he has made his voice apparent and very loud in the past that he does not like the console war stuff, and he does whatever he can to not feel it. He even went as far to say that if I leave this industry, if I stop working for Microsoft, it is almost solely because of the toxic environment that the console wars provide. He doesn't like the mentality that someone has to lose in order for him to win, and he even said on there it's not about kumbaya. He said we're entertainment, and you know, we can all succeed. Now, clearly I'm not saying exactly word for what this man said. If you guys want to see word for word, definitely go into that comment section or that description, click that article, and you can definitely listen to the interview and you can get exactly what he said yourself. Now, my personal opinion when it comes to the console wars is it is something that you're never going to avoid. There's always going to be this toxicity that is on Twitter, that's on YouTube. It's in every industry. You can see it in the sports industry, you can see it in the TV show industry, you can literally see it in any type of entertainment, and that's just how it's always going to go. You have people that ride and die for Ford, you have people that ride and die for Chevy. You're never going to get away from this mentality, and I think Phil Spencer just needs to accept that. Now, I do understand that in terms of his position and where he's on Twitter and how many followers he has, I assume it could be very overwhelming to get on Twitter and the only thing you see is gaming consoles and video game consoles and console wars in general, and I'm assuming that he's very overwhelmed 24/7 on what's going on. That's probably why he should take a break on Twitter if he has not already taken a break because of it. I also think to some degree that console wars is what fuels the industry and it makes competition better on each side. I am not talking about the people on the complete left and the people on the complete right. I'm talking about the middle people, the people a little bit on the PlayStation preference and the people a little bit on the Xbox preference, that they just want the other platform to do things that their platform does. For instance, I'm a huge multiplayer fan. I love multiplayer games, and I would appreciate if Sony would have more multiplayer experienced games that their first party studio makes that I can enjoy over there, and vice versa. I like single player games, and I wish Xbox would make way better quality single player games over there so I can play it there as well. One thing I really want to point out is we need to stop giving these individuals and this group of people on Twitter power. If you continuously quote tweet them, if you continuously attack them, if you continuously make videos about them, they're going to obviously continue doing what they're doing. They're getting a reaction from you. A lot of these people on Twitter that's in the far left or far right, when it comes to these console war stuff, they're just doing that to troll you. Now, obviously some of them are there because they generally feel the way they thought needs to happen, but there's a lot of them that just go on Twitter because they want some reaction from the opponent opposing side that they are tweeting about. But that's all I really have to say on that topic. It's like I said, I understand his perspective. The console wars definitely gets out of hand, but I do feel like it's something that's not going to go anywhere, and he's going to have to really try to avoid these topics, because I understand his motivation that he wants to speak on it, to maybe it will get better. But this particular thing, you know, people that get really emotionally attached to plastic and any type of product in general, it's not going anywhere. So I do feel like it's kind of pointless to even talk about, but that's just my personal opinion about the whole matter. Now, Phil Spencer did comment a little bit about whether or not Xbox is going to have a next generation console, and the person who interviewed him had a lot of good references to why he personally thinks that this is the last console that Xbox might be making, because we have a huge digital age that we are coming into, and we've already for the pretty much got into it. A lot of the games are digitally, so where would the next one be naturally to? In my personal opinion, it would go towards more of a digital era, kind of like, you know, what the Xbox One S is, the PS5 digital edition. I think that's the next concept, the next, you know, real good push to a digital era. And then clearly after that, you would go towards, you know, some type of app that you go on a computer, or some type of app that would be on a TV. Now, this is what he was bringing up to Phil Spencer, and he said with these kind of technology advancements, does he think that the Xbox Series X and S is the last console that Xbox would be producing? And to my surprise, Phil Spencer, you know, he is really good with PR speak, but he just came out openly and answered this. He said, I don't think this is going to be the last console. He says that you see right now with a lot of things that's going on in the industry, with the advancements to audio, with the advancements to visual stuff. He said, right now I see myself buying more in terms of what the TVs I'm going to use because of the quality of the games or the quality of the movies I'm going to be watching, what kind of sound bars I'm getting because of the quality of the audio is improved. He feels like there will always be some form of box in the living room, and everything around it is going to be heightening that experience. Now, clearly everything I'm saying is just my words going from what I listened to his. Like I said, definitely go into that description, click on that article, and listen to the interview, because it was actually a very well done interview, and I enjoyed for the most part. There was nothing really that annoyed me or anything. A lot of the people that like to interview Phil Spencer, or any one of these executives for that matter, ask questions that they know for a fact that them people cannot answer, and then you just hear a bunch of PR speak, a bunch of dodging questions. But this one person, for the most part, he stayed away from those questions, and it made for a fantastic interview. So I'll definitely put that in the comment section below. When it comes to another Xbox in the future, I can't really say if there is or if there's not going to be one. Obviously I don't have a crystal ball, but to me, with the technology the way it's going, I do think there's a very good chance that within 6 to 7 years we will have an app on a TV. There'll be an app on, you know, your computer. There'll be maybe even an app on tablets that you click in it and it comes to maybe some kind of cloud computing, and you'll be playing your games off there. I think the xCloud is the opening stage to having that future, and I think Microsoft knows that sooner or later, maybe it's not next gen, but there will be a time where the consoles will be out of the rooms. And I think that's even for PlayStation. Maybe Nintendo would stay around because they've been really focusing on, you know, a handheld experience, and I think there is room for that even in the future with the market. But for the most part, I do feel like that consoles are going to be a thing that's in the past, and Microsoft is really investing into the cloud computing and investing in the xCloud, so they know that when that happens, when that turn happens, they'll be prepared and they'll be able to completely get on that train and hopefully be the first there, because a lot of the time the first people there are the ones that make the most money, and they're the ones that set the standard for what that type of service would be. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. Put it in the comment section below. Do you agree with anything Phil Spencer said? I'm curious to see your guys' opinion on the matter, especially if you think there's going to be a next generation console. Definitely put that in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.